What's going on YouTube? Super Insane 18 here with the next episode of our Road to Ranked series, and you can see by the team preview that what we are bringing today is a Prankster Riolu with Feint, Copycat, Coaching, and Detect, holding the Focus Sash that is meant entirely to pair up with our Calyrex-Ice Rider, holding the Weakness Policy with Trick Room, Heavy Slam, High Horsepower, and Glacial Lance. Then we have the Rillaboom with Fake Out, Grassy Glide, Knockoff, and Hammer Arm holding an Assault Vest. A Regieleki, same one that we've been using with the Life Orb, and Protect, Thunderbolt, Electro Web, and Volt Switch. Then something new that I've never actually used before is a Celesteela here, holding the Power Herb with Protect, Leech Seed, Meteor Beam, and Flash Cannon. And finally, we have a Cinderace with an Expert Belt holding the Expert Belt, with Sucker Punch, Pyro Ball, High Jump Kick, and Protect. Now, the main gimmick of this team is to Copycat into Max Guard with the Trick Room, set it up, and then coaching the Calyrex to just be entirely unfair. So let's go ahead and jump into the first battle. My opponent bringing the Kyurem White to battle. So this does look like it's actually a really good matchup for our Calyrex. We do need to bring something for the Kyurem though. So we are going to lead with our Riolu Calyrex just as we had originally planned. And then let's go ahead. We definitely want to bring the Cinderace. And honestly, probably the Celesteela will handle the Kyurem. So we're going to go ahead and rock with that. The only way that we don't, well, I mean, he can cycle Intimidates here, which is a little unfortunate for the Calyrex. Anybody that's been watching this channel knows that that's a strategy that I absolutely can't stand. When people just sit there and cycle multiple Intimidate users in and out repeatedly. But we have super effective coverage on both of them. And we will be able to boost ourselves back up with like coaching and everything, so it shouldn't be that big of a deal. We can't do our strategy if he leads the Incineroar because he'll just be able to fake us out. So we'll protect there and then probably just try and KO the Incin if possible. My opponent taking a while to figure out what he's going to bring. Okay, there he goes. So as long as he didn't lead the Incin, because that's the only thing that should have Fake Out on his team, then we can go ahead and set up our Trick Room without any issues. And the cool thing is that with the Riolu having Feint, I can get rid of any like wide guards if my opponent's playing it, so Glacial Lance will be able to do a ton of damage. Okay, so I think the best thing to do here is probably try and kill the Eleki, because the Eleki's weaker. So like I can Max Quake into the Eleki. And even though I'm intimidated, that should, in theory, get it at least out of here, unless it's Focus Sashed, but you don't see a lot of Sashed Regielekis. So we'll Detect here, make sure that we don't get faked out. And then we can Max here and High Horsepower into the Eleki slot. And if this works, we can Coaching on the Riolu next turn just to make sure that we're at least at +1. Because if we get the KO here, this will bring us to neutral. And then on the third turn, we can do the Copycat Trick Room. So my opponent didn't max anything. It's very possible that he Volt Switches here to get another Intimidate off, actually. I should have thought of that. Let's hope that he doesn't do that. Okay, so he just went for the Thunderbolt. Ooh, and he doubled in. So knowing that he's attempting to double in, we'll probably do the Trick Room thing this turn. So that will bring us back to neutral. And honestly, do I even care about the Trick Room? If he sends out the Landorus, I don't care about the Trick Room. If he sends out the Landorus, I think I just Coaching. Okay, so he sent out Ferrothorn. That's fine by me. Let's Coaching anyway here. And we'll Quake into the Incin slot. It's possible he didn't bring the Landorus because I have the Calyrex-Ice on my team. He doesn't really want to have to deal with that, so I'm hoping that's the case here. Otherwise, he can potentially switch the Ensign here into... Okay, but he doesn't switch, so we're okay. Best case scenario now is he tries to, like, Flare Blitz into me and activates my weakness policy. Okay, so he went for the Parting Shot. So that's going to bring us back down to neutral because the coaching put us at +1. If he has the Landorus here, then we'll go back to -1. Which, okay, so it's Kyurem, which I'm fine with. We'll get a Quake off into it. I'm not sure if this will kill being neutral, honestly. I have no idea what Kyurem's stats are, and it looks like it doesn't. So that's fine. Probably went for like either a Leech Seed or an Iron Defense. Okay, so he's going for the Iron Defense. That's kind of okay. Not really. Let's go ahead and set up the Trick Room here. He's... Okay, so he withdraws. He wants to get the Intimidate off. So he's just going to try and cycle this now. Which I guess I'm okay with. I mean, I'm not really, but I have to be. So now we get our Trick Room up. And I think we just have to keep trying to coaching here. Best case scenario is he activates our weakness policy. Okay, so that's finally going to break our Sash. Do we predict the Fake Out onto the Riolu here? So I think currently... Am I -1 or am I -2? Okay, I'm -1. Let's go for coaching to try and get neutral. And then we'll high horsepower into the Incineroar. He might not Fake Out here, knowing that I'll detect. He might just try to, like, Flare Blitz into the Calyrex. Which, if he does, that's fine by me. It'll... Okay, so there we go. We made the right play. Since we detected on the Fake Out before, he thought that's what we were going to do. We get our attack up, and we get our defense up. This Ferrothorn could potentially be an issue in the late game. But hopefully we'll be fine. So neutral, not enough to take it out, unfortunately. Okay, but he taunts the Riolu. Okay. So I think that means we have to switch out here. And let's go ahead and go into the Celesteela. I think we just keep going into that instant slot, because like even if he switches out into the what's it called? Into the words Kyurem, then we'll be okay. Okay, so good switch on our part. That still half health us, which is a little horrifying. We can't Leech Seed it. So we do have the Cinderace in the back. Pyro Ball's pretty much our only hope here. We can Glacial Lance, because it'll hit both. And we can Meteor Beam into the Kyurem, honestly. Because Glacial Lance will be neutral since it's part Dragon. And that'll at least let us get a little bit of damage off on the Ferrothorn. Okay, the Kyurem goes for Protect. That's fine. We still get our special defense boost here. Unless he just takes us out, which he does. That's fine. Does the Trick Room end here? I've never actually seen this animation in game. That is awesome looking. Does actually nothing to the Ferrothorn. If Trick Room ends here, it doesn't. Okay, so we go Riolu again. And we Coaching. Okay, yeah, this is our last turn of Trick Room. So let's go ahead and Coaching. And we'll just fire off another Glacial Lance. Even though it's +4 defense... Okay, actually no, Fighting's not super effective on Calyrex because we're part Psychic. I keep forgetting that. I'm so used to just playing the Glastrier. But I feel at least somewhat confident. My opponent's going to max the Kyurem. It took them quite a while, honestly. Unless this is... Actually, it's in an Ultra Ball. It could be the Ferrothorn. Okay, no. It is the Kyurem. So I really don't know if it's a physical or special attacker. But we have buffed up defenses for both of our defenses, so hopefully we can live whatever it is this thing's going to do to us. Because now that it's maxed, I have almost no confidence that we'll take it out here. So it goes for the Body Press. That is going to take out the Riolu. Oh, actually, that... I'm surprised... Oh, we got the crit. The crit might have mattered. After this game, I'm going to get the damage calc, and I'll put it on screen now. That crit might have mattered. I'm not 100% sure, honestly. But I'm feeling pretty good here. Trick Room's going to end this turn. We can just Pyro Ball into the Ferrothorn. And as long as we don't miss that Pyro Ball, we should be okay. Alright, so Pyro Ball, and I think we'll just go for a Glacial Lance. It's Stab. Okay, so it goes for the Protect. Maybe wanting us to high jump kick and then take half our health. I'm not really sure. Maybe he's just trying to get the extra health from his leftovers. I don't think it matters, honestly, between both of these moves. We know that our Calyrex is actually faster. We saw that the Ferrothorn was going first under Trick Room. So I should get both of these off before we actually get hit by it. Alright, we don't miss our Pyro Ball. This should, in theory, be enough to take it out, but it is buffed up on defenses. So we just barely miss, but the Glacial Lance will get the KO here. Pretty awesome move to end it on, honestly. Alright, and there you guys have it. That is the first battle off to a strong start, definitely. Let's go ahead and jump into the next one. My opponent is bringing some kind of Kyogre team, so that does make me want to, again, just lead to set up the Trick Room. I want to bring the Rillaboom instead of the Eliki because he does have the Landorus here. And then I have to bring the Cinderace because he's got a Kartana. That's pretty much just a guaranteed. If you see a Kartana, you bring a Fire type. So, hopefully we can just set up Trick Room turn 1. It doesn't look like... Well, unless he, again, leads the Incin. Then he's got a Fake Out on his side of the field, which we can just detect through. But the goal is to get that Trick Room up as soon as we can. Okay, so he leads Thundurus Landorus. It's definitely tempting to just flat out try and kill the Landorus. That way he doesn't intimidate repeatedly over and over. But at the same time, well, because he could just activate my weakness policy as well. It could also just be a Prankster Thundurus, which if it's a Prankster Thundurus, then we need to get it out of the way, because Copycat becomes useless. If I guard and it does like Tailwind and then I Copycat, I'll get the Tailwind instead of the Trick Room. So we need to get the Thundurus out of the way. Coaching will put us back up to neutral. With our Sky High attack, I think we can OHKO the Thundurus, even if it maxes. So. Alright, he doesn't switch. So we know he's not trying to at least cycle Intimidates this turn. The question is, did he max the Landorus or the Thundurus? Okay, he maxed the Landorus. So maybe he's going for like a Rock Fall? Or he could be actually going for, what's it called? He could be going for a Airstream into the Riolu to get the Riolu out of the way. In which case he probably doubled into it, just because why would I have Riolu if it's not Focus Sashed? I think just the fact that Riolu's on the field, it gives pretty good insight as to what item it's holding. Okay, so it's not a Prankster Thundurus, which is very good to know. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, but we can get the Trick Room guaranteed next turn, though. And this might activate our weakness policy, because he went for the Rock Fall. Okay, perfect. And because we got the defense, that does actually nothing. Alright, and now we're actually just in a stupid good position. Yeah, we kind of wasted our turn 1, but oh well. We get our Trick Room up here. And we've pretty much neutralized this Landorus. So we get the guard. We get the Trick Room. And then if the Riolu lives this turn, which it probably won't, we just go ahead and coaching, but it doesn't matter, that's fine. So what do we have in the back for the Thundurus? I think we brought the Celesteela, right? No, we brought Cinderace and Rillaboom. Which, that's fine. Let's go ahead, we'll bring out the Rillaboom. We'll fake out into the Thundurus slot, and we will just Hailstorm into the Landorus slot. It is possible that the Landorus guards here, but most Landoruses don't run any form of Protect because they opt for an Assault Vest. I definitely want to keep this Rillaboom around for the potential Kyogre in the back. Alright, so what's my opponent gonna do here? Okay, he doesn't have guard, which is perfect. So we get to take this thing out. No questions asked. Get a Grimnay boost, and I think that puts us at +2, right? Or not Grimnay, yeah. Is this? No, it's, Grimnay is for Spectre. Okay. It is possible that the... Well, no, because we flinched him. So Chillinay is going to raise our attack. I think that puts us at +2. Let's see if he brings out the Kyogre. I don't think he will. He still has one more Mon at the very least. Regardless, though, our Trick Room is still up, and we have Glacial Land. Okay, we should be fine then. So let's go ahead. We're just going to Grassy Glide into the Whimsicott to break a Sash. Trick Room should still be up, right? Yeah, we still got 3 turns of Trick Room. Our Calyrex is +3, not +2, so this is looking very good for us. Let's go ahead and Glacial Lance. The fact that he brought out a Whimsicott here, I really want to take a guess that he's got the Kyogre in the back. Okay, Whimsicott does go for Protect, which is fine. There's no way a +3 Glacial Lance doesn't take out the Thunders here. And then, if the Whimsicott does have Sash, it goes down to the Hail here. And we can Grassy Glide into the potential Kyogre in the back. Oh, but never mind. If it's got a Sash, it's going to go back up because of grassy terrain here, which is okay. There's not really anything that a Whimsicott can do to us at this point. Okay, and it is the Kyogre in the back. So we are going to Grassy Glide into it. Potentially it has Protect here and it doesn't take damage, but how many turns? We've got more than 1 turn of grassy terrain, right? Yeah, we've still got 3 turns of grassy terrain, so we're okay. And Glacial Lance. Kyogre protects as predicted. We should still have one more turn of Trick Room after this. Interesting setup at the Tailwind there. Not quite sure why. Ooh, the Whimsicott's not even sashed. Okay, so I think this is just game for us, honestly. That should be a maxed out Calyrex at this point, I think. Okay, we're one. I'm bad at counting today. That is the theme of today's episode. And this is our last turn of Trick Room, right? Yeah. So let's go ahead and just high horsepower because it's the only thing we have that's really effective. Goes for the double protect. Unfortunately does not get it. And that is a done Kyogre. So there you guys have it. Let's go ahead and get our last battle in for the day. Okay, and our opponent is bringing some kind of Necrozma. I think that's... No, is that Dawn or Dusk? I never remember which is which. Bringing the Solgaleo version. And he's got a Pheromosa, which makes me feel like he's going to do some kind of speed swap shenanigans. Let's go ahead, and it hasn't failed us yet. We'll bring the Riolu and the Calyrex. We will bring the Cinderace here. And honestly, the Celesteela feels like the best mon to bring in the back. And the only thing the Celesteela really fears is that Torkoal. We've got the Meteor Beam, which is really good against the Thundurus and the Glastrier there. If we are able to get it off before the Torkoal does anything to us, then we're fine there. We can definitely go ahead and Leech Seed onto the Necrozma to just kind of whittle it down. So yeah, Celesteela hasn't really had a chance to shine this episode yet, so maybe it'll get its chance here. But I still feel like the Riolu Calyrex lead is just too strong for this team, honestly. The fact that it's not just go in, max guard, and copycat, like you can coaching and take something out on turn 1, or, you know, whatever it is, it makes it feel pretty good, honestly. So... let's see what my opponent leads. He might lead the Indeedee in some capacity just for follow me shenanigans. I feel like Indeedee's kind of fallen out this this series, this season, whatever you want to call it. Okay, but he does lead the Indeedee and the Necrozma. So I don't want to do the follow me shenanigans just yet. And I don't want to hit the Necrozma with a super effective move just yet. Because Necrozmas, more often than not, also run the weakness policy. If he can activate my weakness policy before we can activate his, then we're golden. So, we are going to coaching. And let's just go ahead and honestly Steel Spike into the Indeedee. It will get our defense up. And I'm 99% sure that the Solgaleo form of Necrozma is a physical attacker. Pretty much, we can't do any sort of follow me shenanigans, or not follow me, copycat shenanigans until this Indeedee is out of the way. Just because we don't want to copy follow me. Alright, he does max and he is faster. I wasn't paying attention. Did we see the Psychic Seed on the Indeedee at the start? Because if we did, we can take out the Indeedee here and then set our Trick Room up next turn. The fact that he maxed first means he is faster. So the perfect turn here is KO Indeedee, get a weakness policy boost on our Calyrex, set up the Trick Room on the next turn. That's the ideal world that we want to be living in right now. Honestly, coaching is such a strong move. Getting an attack and a defense buff is just nuts. Okay, so he goes for the Riolu. We are sashed. We get a Steel Spike here. It's not even enough to take the Indeedee out. Interesting. Okay. So honestly, I think at this point we abandon Trick Room. I think we just go for the coaching. And then honestly another Steel Spike just to get our defense up so that we don't die to anything this Necrozma is going to do. If we get bulky enough, we can just set up Trick Room in his face without worrying, so... I'm honestly surprised that that didn't take it out. Okay, so he's going for the Helping Hand. Interesting. So that makes me think that he's going into our Calyrex here. Which if he does, we can get the Trick Room up as our last turn of Dynamax. Which is even better. Okay, yeah. So he goes for the Steel Spike here. That is going to activate our weakness policy, and it does almost nothing to us. So now we'll be +3. Well, we'll be more than +3. We'll be +4. And then +5 when we take this out. So this is actually getting kind of nutty here. Because if we can set up this Trick Room, I don't think there's anything my opponent can really do. Okay, so that should be +5. Chilling Neigh plus Weakness Policy plus 2 turns of Coaching. That's 5 boosts. I know that I can't count this episode, but we're going to try it anyway. And here we are going to Copycat and Max Guard. And in theory, that gets us up our Trick Room. Perfect. Okay, so we are in a phenomenal position. Trick Room is up. It's probably going to take out the Riolu here. Yeah, so he's taking out the Riolu. He wants to get as many boosts up as he can right now. And then, do I send out the Celesteela here? Is there anything... Okay, so now he's going for the Coaching. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's send out Celesteela. I'm going to Leech Seed the Necrozma. And honestly, just Glacial Lance, like, even though... So what's the Necrozma's defense at? Because Glacial Lance isn't very effective. Okay, he's at +3. I'm at +5. Let's definitely Leech Seed here. And I'll just Glacial Lance. I really don't want to activate whatever weakness policy it might be holding. I feel like the fact that we haven't activated its weakness policy is the reason that our Calyrex is so high right now. Glacial Lance goes off. We're going to definitely take the Pheromosa down to its sash and see how much damage we do to this Necrozma. Okay, not that much, but I think we'll be okay. We get the Leech Seed off, which is perfect. Then Necrozma goes for Sunsteel Strike. I believe that's a steel move. Into Calyrex. Doesn't do anything because we have multiple boosts. And it's just going to Coaching again. So that's fine. If our... Well, no. Let's do it this way. So it should be +4 now, right? Let's do that. And let's hope that this is enough to take it. I feel like that's the position we're put in, now that he just keeps Coaching it. Is it enough? It is just barely enough, but the Leech Seed will take it out. So, in the ideal world here, he just takes us out with the... He takes the Calyrex out. And then we'll be 1v2ing, or 2v1ing. We'll have till he'll have one, essentially. Now just don't miss this. Okay, perfect. So there goes Pheromosa. Actually, I think... What's the best case scenario here? Okay, so he's reversing the Trick Room. Interesting. Very interesting. Makes me wonder what he has in the back. What could he possibly have that he would rather... Isn't Torkoal slower than Calyrex? So if I'm not mistaken, he just got rid of the Trick Room, right? Okay. And we are definitely... There's no way we are not stronger than this, or faster than this right now. Torkoal's like one of the slowest mons. So I think we just take it out here with a high horsepower, right? Like he shouldn't have undone the Trick Room there. Okay, yeah, no, my opponent just is stupid. He shouldn't have undone the Trick Room there. So there you guys have it. For a change, we actually get 3 wins in an episode. So hopefully you guys like the team. I'm definitely having a lot of fun with it. Let's throw the rental code on the screen now. If you guys want, definitely make sure to play it. Let me know what you guys think of it. Hopefully it can either help you get to Master Ball or help you get higher in the ladder. But if you guys liked it, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.